There are moments in life when facing challenges alone can be incredibly difficult. In these times, it's comforting to have a loyal friend or a supportive family by your side. In extreme cases, even doctors or paramedics can come to your aid. But what if you're in dire need and help is nowhere to be found? Let's take it a step further. Imagine you're a jaguar struggling against drowning in a river. You're all alone, and your survival depends solely on you. This is precisely what happened in a Brazilian jungle. Brazilian soldiers were patrolling the banks of the Amazon River, one of the world's largest rivers, when they spotted something unusual in the water. Stopping to investigate, they were shocked to realize that it was a young jaguar, apparently attempting to cross the river. At first, the soldiers thought everything was fine. However, as time passed, they realized that something was wrong. The predator was clearly exhausted and fighting for its life. The men and women continued to observe the situation. But with each passing second, it became increasingly clear the jaguar couldn't make it alone. If someone didn't help soon, it would be the end for the animal. The soldiers wanted to help, but what could they do? After all, they were dealing with a dangerous wild animal drifting in the water. They didn't fear the jaguar, but they were aware of the potential danger it posed and maintained a healthy respect. Frantically, the soldiers brainstormed ways to assist the creature. Their initial idea was to use a long stick or branch to help pull it out of the water. But the jaguar was several meters away, and no branch or small tree trunk would reach that far. They knew that if they didn't act within minutes, it would be too late for the poor creature. After another agonizing minute and fearing the big cat would sink any second, a brave man stepped forward from the group of soldiers and decided to jump into the Amazon River himself. His comrades looked on in disbelief. He couldn't just dive into the river and drag the animal out. What if it fought back? The jaguar had massive paws, sharp claws, and a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. But none of that mattered to the young man. He knew it was either this or the jaguar would drown. The man stripped down to his upper garment, keeping it on in case the predator tried to swipe at him with its paws. Seeing his determination, the other soldiers decided they couldn't let their friend and colleague swim alone towards the wild animal. Together, they plunged into the water and swam purposefully toward the young jaguar. Tension remained high, as they were unsure how the predator would react to their approach. The men and women were prepared for anything. Finally, they reached the young jaguar. The moment of truth had arrived. How would the animal respond? The soldiers closed in and grasped the big cat. Remarkably, the jaguar didn't resist at all. It seemed to understand that these humans were there to help and cooperated with the soldiers. Working together, they pulled the predator to shore and carried it out of the water. The jaguar was utterly exhausted, initially lacking the strength to even stand. Now they faced another problem. They couldn't leave the weakened animal alone in the jungle. A vulnerable and exhausted predator would be easy prey for poachers. Local authorities allowed the Brazilian military to take custody of the creature. The young jaguar, not yet fully grown, thrived and grew stronger under the soldiers' watchful eyes. It even played with the humans, considering them more like family than prey. They named the little jungle dweller Jaguar. Jaguar still lives with his rescuers, surrounded by care and affection. The soldiers had saved one of the most dangerous predators, courageously diving into the water without a second thought for their own safety. This extraordinary event, in which a group of soldiers risked their lives to save a young jaguar, spread far and wide. People marveled at the bravery and compassion shown by these men and women, and the unique bond formed between them and the jaguar. Jaguar's story became a symbol of hope and the power of empathy, transcending the barriers between species. As Jaguar grew, the soldiers ensured he received the best possible care, working closely with wildlife experts and veterinarians to provide a healthy environment for the young jaguar. They built a spacious enclosure filled with trees, rocks, and a pool for Jaguar to play and exercise in, simulating his natural habitat as closely as possible. Over time, Jaguar developed a deep bond with his rescuers, and the soldiers grew to love him in return. They took turns caring for him, feeding him, and even engaging in play sessions, which involved plenty of good-natured wrestling and chasing. Despite the jaguar's wild nature, Jaguar seemed to understand that these humans were his family, his protectors. Word of Jaguar's story reached beyond the Brazilian jungle, capturing the hearts and imaginations of people all over the world. Documentaries and news segments were produced, sharing the incredible tale of the soldiers and the jaguar they had saved. Jaguar became an ambassador for his species, raising awareness about the plight of jaguars in the wild and the importance of conservation efforts. Eventually, a wildlife sanctuary with a focus on rehabilitating and protecting rescued jaguars expressed interest in taking Jaguar in. The soldiers, knowing that this would be the best environment for him to thrive and contribute to the preservation of his species, made the heart-wrenching decision to transfer him to the sanctuary. The soldiers who saved Jikitea from the brink of death exemplify the best of humanity, showing the world that even in the most unlikely circumstances, love and understanding can triumph. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring and captivating stories from around the world. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey, and we'll see you next time.